Jealousy, Workbook of Creating Trust in Your Relationship. Written by Kimberly Janvey. Narrated by Belinda Smith.
Chapter 1. Special Attention. To date, I've enlightened the planet with my ideas on jealousy and self-esteem. I wish to clear up any misunderstandings that could possess some males thinking that I'm targeting only women here. Jealousy and self-esteem issues may also imprison men in addition to women. Nobody is excluded from real human feelings. Feelings have no face, color, size, or gender. There's two victims here, not merely one, and everyone is vulnerable. I also believe that I've forgotten to reveal the way the other party involved that is affected with jealousy or self-esteem issues suffers as well. A relationship is really a partnership. It's a commitment made between a couple, and that will stay with one another throughout the years. Regrettably, when it's a jealousy issue, both sides are affected. We tend to pay attention to those who are stuck with their feelings. It's like they are in a prison because they are limited in their cognitive capabilities, but it's the victimized person who needs healing too. To become accused and mistrusted by your beloved is really difficult, along with a definite discomfort that some people cannot bear for any lengthy time. Accusations and false assumptions can be the undertone of a relationship, and that doesn't really make it pleasant, if you know what I mean. If you suspect someone of cheating, and you are pretty sure that they are, this is difficult too. Again and again, they struggle so hard to reassure you they deeply love you and they aren't interested nor lusting for other people. Once they try to let you know that it's all in your thoughts, they risk getting attacked more and more and get defensive. It's no doubt a vicious cycle. They become paranoid and it does not matter where they are, since you're already convinced they have tricked you in some manner. At some occasions, it takes a couple of days. Some occasions, it drops immediately. Nevertheless, they need to sit and wait and be worried about if this will drop. They fear this time they won't be able to say what they want. They fear will get much more depressed and irrational using what they are saying to all of us. They start to feel condemned when they do and condemned when they don't. Personally, I hate that feeling. That's the moment you want to reassess your relationship and run away as fast as you can. The neglect you put onto that individual using your jealous insecurities is as real for them as the feelings to be held in your prison of doubt. Doubt stinks. There are lots of reasons why jealousy grows stronger and stronger inside of people's minds, as well as the innocent ones that really don't ever do anything whatsoever to trigger that fear in the human body. Those are the innocent victims. For somebody that has begun to identify their issues and also has started to cope with them, I say, don't forget your partner is there for you. Everybody needs special attention, simply because they have shared your fears as well as your pains, but they still hurt inside. Jealousy can destroy a lot of good stuff in people's lives. It may destroy our relationship, and it can kill the main one factor that you simply love each other deeply. The worst part about this is that you simply take and don't give back. You have to stop. Can you have a gun and shoot your mate? No. So then why would you be allowing this emotion to torture the ones so close to you? Also, if they already tried to make up for the distrust, and if they have proven themselves to be trustworthy in so many ways, it may just be your own insecurity or background that causes the jealousy. Your partner loves you as much as you like them, and also, they might feel they have caused the effect of your trapped feelings which eat at them. To decide to just smile and feel completely loved means they are feeling better about themselves in that they're accountable for that smile. That's a good feeling altogether. When you're not happy, they might blame themselves for that a little. Also, take care not to fall under the practice of being unhappy through jealous feelings. Understand where they're originating from. Are you currently experiencing them because of a need to get noticed? Are you not receiving enough attention? Again, this can be an incorrect type of attention. If you fail to obtain the right attention you are feeling you're missing, then speak to your partner. Don't let jealous feelings dominate and confuse what you're saying. Any weakness in your thoughts is really a direct route to negativity and despair. After they make it happen, they work very rapidly at getting you to a negative state of mind. So be familiar with just what you're feeling. Hopefully, I've contributed some valuable ideas inside your mind in regards to what else is happening in your relationship that's affected by jealousy. Each of the two partners can experience sadness or distrust if one of them becomes overly suspicious. Don't forget to hug, to live, to love, and to laugh. Life is not all serious. One thought from me to you. Take risks. Take chances. Don't think that trusting others is always a bad thing. There are a lot of crooks, true, but there are a lot of trustworthy people out there too. Similarly, you can trust someone to be faithful in your relationship or to do as they're told, but maybe not to be completely honest or on top of things when it concerns something else. For instance, I have a mother-in-law whom I trust to not steal from people, but I don't trust her to be on time because she has shown in the past that she is not very punctual. I trust her to not yell at me because she's never done that, but I don't trust her to always be friendly because she has made some judgmental remarks. Becoming a better judge of character lies at the core of overcoming jealousy. Know what you can trust people to do and what you can remain suspicious about. Eliminating all suspicion would lead to nativity anyway. Chapter 2. Jealousy Problems in Marriage. Jealousy in marriage is destructive, a genuine relationship killer, and something individuals with common marriage problems should solve. In your soul, if you let feelings of jealousy develop and escalate, your brain will go wild. Think of the enemy around every corner. Question everything your lover thinks, states, and does. In worse scenarios, unresolved and unchecked jealousy might be going to the point of ending the relationship and eventually into long-term revenge schemes that lead to an unhappy life. Although we wish to deny it, many people have problems with jealous feelings at some stage in their lives and, in marriage, it's certainly one of the most common marriage issues that can be cultivated from feelings of insecurity or neglect. We currently reside in a society where marriages are frequently broken because of another person, an affair, a pornography addiction, and therefore are, oftentimes, second or subsequent marriages. Case studies in society have confirmed this over and over again, and in some countries, 40% of all marriages end in divorce. Cheating has become something exciting to some people, and is sometimes even portrayed in TV shows as a secretive way to get more passion in life. People can enter marriages with the previously mentioned baggage, and when they do, it is often difficult to settle right into a secure relationship, having faith in an atmosphere filled with self-worth and self-belief. When we have had our trust broken in the past, it's harder to trust again. Maybe that's a good thing, so we don't always let people take advantage of us. But if it goes too far, or if we don't know who to trust, it can become a major problem. Marital jealousy comes from numerous situations, and regardless of how much you attempt and tell yourself there's no need for concern in your mind, you could be listening to that inner voice that tells you the husband or wife isn't faithful, thus instilling the same feelings into your heart again. These are some things to consider when you can't get rid of overly jealous feelings, or when you're too hard on yourself for feeling that way. Many people are natural flirts who draw to a potential partner like magnets, which, when the ring is around the finger, leaves partners totally insecure and merely waiting for being dumped for another person that may enter their circle of friends. The person who flirts frequently doesn't have any idea what impact their actions have on their relationship. He or she might not really believe that they're doing anything wrong, but see their actions as being friendly and never dangerous. Some people are really oblivious to this. Nobody could be charged with being unnecessarily jealous if they have proven themselves to be trustworthy over and over again. Some marriages survive an affair, and it is hard to say whether suspicion for another one is justified. Some people may have turned around completely, with real sorrow for their previous infidelity, and others are incorrigible and should never be fully trusted. Following a divorce, children have to believe that the separation isn't because of anything they have done. This leaves parents overprotective, eager to make up for their failed relationship, and sometimes too eager to enter a new one. Another thing that can happen when being faced with common marriage problems is the fact that husbands feel neglected when an infant arrives, regardless of how much they wanted the kid to begin with. An infant's mere arrival is completely life-changing, with increased attention for the child, along with a complete nosedive in marital relations. A wife has to recover, so sexual attention could diminish, and constant help and more things to do could complicate the matter. I have heard my father say literally, "When the kids arrived, she didn't even give me any attention anymore. I was unimportant." The bond between mother and child may leave fathers feeling neglected, undesirable, and ignored. A mother can feel neglected because she is often alone with a child and doesn't receive as much attention from friends, family, and social situations. A lot of the time at the office, a partner can be feeling very insecure, particularly when your hours at work increase and you spend much less time in your home with your loved ones. I saw a Dr. Phil show once, and the husband worked for about 70 hours per week. His wife just wanted him home, but he said he was doing it for her. He didn't understand what she really wanted. People get fixated on their own goals and also have no concept about how this really is perceived or the way it impacts their relationship as well as their family life. With no 100% backing of both sides, lengthy hours and continuous travel can be a real relationship killer, and, if left unchecked, certainly one of individuals' common marriage problems from which there may be no return. Their email list is limitless, and jealousy by itself isn't a bad factor. It's a strong indication that you care. The primary factor we have to remember isn't to allow the jealousy to consume, cause rage, and become destructive. If you suffer from feelings of jealousy, consider this cause. Question your emotions and see when they have had a firm foundation, or they were just made out of fluff. Is the partner really doing anything wrong? Have they really done anything to cause your jealous feelings, or have you simply enabled your feelings to get out of hand? When the fault is on you, understanding how to recognize the truth is the initial step towards controlling this kind of emotional and destructive way of thinking. It enables you to definitely discuss your fears together with your partner, explain your feelings, and seek their help to overcome your jealous feelings, strengthen your marriage, and create a better image of the future. Communication may be the foundation to marital success. If you're able to learn how to communicate, you'll be able to express your feelings inside a non-confrontational, non-accusatory, understanding, and supportive atmosphere. Don't just let your fears out. For example, "I think you're getting an affair," may possibly not be true, and it'll just add fuel to the fire. Explain that something appears to be different in your relationship. Explain what's different about it and just what causes you to think your marriage has become that way. Don't blame, don't get emotional. Just show your partner what's going on, using your mind and seeking their assistance in an attempt to get it sorted out. Probably the most common marriage problem is expecting your partners to continually understand what we would like them to know and just how we're feeling. But just by having a ring on the finger, it doesn't mean we are always mind readers when we haven't conveyed our feelings and our partner doesn't know anything about them. If they don't know they've done something wrong, be nice about it and don't expect them to know without your communication. Let them know now. Save your valuable marriage before it's far too late. You have something to gain and you win. Whether or not the answer isn't what you would like to listen to, understanding is power, and with understanding comes the opportunity to turn your life around. I remember I had a boyfriend who was very jealous. When I talked to other guys, he would immediately show up and be a little helicopter. It was the most annoying thing ever, and his suspicion indicated that he didn't trust me. Eventually, this lack of trust caused us to break up. I didn't want to stay with a guy who assumed I was lying when I said I wasn't trying to flirt with other guys. Sometimes it's better to let things go and believe people.
Chapter 3. Control your jealousy. Jealousy is one thing that affects the lives of individuals across the nation. Even though it is natural to see periodic changes in one's envy, letting these negative feelings in can lead to disastrous conflicts inside your work life, family life, and romances. Listed here are a couple of methods for you to control your jealousy and keep it from ruining your life. The important thing to understand how to control jealousy would be to isolate yourself from the situation. For instance, let us say your neighbor purchases a new car and you're envious because yours is less attractive and fuel efficient. Oftentimes, over time, the reason why to be jealous will not matter at all. Will the truth that your neighbor got a better looking car than you at some point truly matter in 5 years or even 10? Understanding how to forget about material-based jealousy is a perfect method to begin living a happier, simpler life and think about the long run. A different way to control jealousy would be to improve your confidence. Among the greatest reasons for jealousy, in the end, insecurity is the biggest. Let us say your brother or sister has a better job than you. Coping with this understanding can put a massive damper on your confidence. You're insecure, miserable, and fearful you won't ever progress in your career. However, as you master to love yourself a little more, you are able to realize you have positive traits and attributes which help you contribute to your organization. Try making a summary of these abilities and attributes next time you are feeling insecurity pulling at your heart. Ensure that it stays inside a prominent place and employ it like an indication that you're helpful and dependable. Is the jealousy based on the actual partnership? A lot of couples have a problem with envy. A typical example is retrograde jealousy. That is when one partner is jealous of some other for having dated a lot more people before meeting their current partner. You may even receive an irrational, jealously fueled delusion that others are attempting to seduce your lover or that the partner will ultimately cheat on you. With regards to dealing with this type of jealousy, voicing your problem as quickly as possible is the easiest method to control jealousy. If you cannot exercise your emotions when you talk to your partner, try talking to a therapeutic counselor. She or he could be more qualified to hear each side of the story and suggest methods to ban the jealousy in your relationship before it causes an excessive amount of damage. Insecurity. Are you harboring grudges or getting into arguments? Are feelings of depression that make it hard to accomplish what you ought to do? If this describes you, don't give up hope. You are not entirely alone. In addition, overcoming feelings of jealousy and insecurity is not as difficult as it appears to be. It might appear to be easier said than done, but it is true. Jealousy and insecurity can last forever, but actually, its effects only continue for as long as you allow you to ultimately feel them. Oftentimes, your emotions of insecurity may convince you that you won't ever obtain a greater grade on your test, receive that promotion, or date the romantic crush you've always dreamt of. Sometimes, your jealousy may have you insisting that the one who achieved that which you wanted does not deserve their reward. You may also believe that they cheated or that they are simply lucky. It's hard to conceive when you do your best that someone else is more successful, better looking, or happier in life. No matter your reason for being jealous, your emotions of jealousy and insecurity can greatly cripple your day-to-day life. Keeping these feelings suppressed and unvoiced is extremely harmful indeed. It will not only harm your mental and emotional health, but the lingering results into stress and anger, which might even damage your physical health too. For this reason, talking about your issues before they become too severe is among the best means of overcoming jealousy, insecurity. I already mentioned this, but I cannot emphasize it enough. Talk, talk, talk. This can be done by contacting your friends and family. They can comfort and encourage you. They might even have the ability to offer suggestions about how to approach the problem that you simply never might have thought of by yourself. Even when they simply listen, getting this negativity off your chest can help significantly in working with it. Visiting a counselor regarding your insecurity is yet another good method, particularly if you feel your feelings are affecting you seriously. She or he might not always have the ability to provide you with professional, impartial advice, but your counselor might also find the main problem, like an event in your past that could have triggered this sort of feeling. Oftentimes, individuals who see therapists do not know how their jealousy arises from such occurrences. Once you understand why you have this sort of feeling of fear, frustration, or depression, you'll be able in the future to let the issue go. Chapter 4. Jealousy and Loneliness. Experiencing jealousy isn't fun. There's the overwhelming feeling that life just is not fair, the gnawing frustration, as well as periods of self-loathing. What lots of people don't understand is the fact that jealousy is not always a pretty feeling that's easily ignored. Like chronic depression, anxiety, or anger, it's a condition that needs to be treated in steps. Listed here are a couple of types of the best way to overcome your personal feelings of jealousy. The initial step is acknowledging that you're jealous. This is often hard for many because this means learning that the anger is not always righteous or fair. However, by realizing this, you can start the entire process of overcoming it. Over time, the epiphanies that derive from the method are ultimately as pleasing as learning that you simply were to harbor such feelings against someone else. Once you have recognized your jealousy, you're ready to dissect the problem. By doing this, you might find that your circumstances, while unfair and fairly upsetting, are inevitable. For instance, your coworker may get a commission or get promoted to some position you have been wanting. In such situations, simple blind luck could be the reason another person was selected rather than you. But it doesn't matter what the cause is. You have to leave them for what they are and stop comparing. In some instances, it might be something bigger than simple conditions that stored you against that which you desire. These scenarios are frequently harder to beat, as this is based on your own actions or lack thereof. For instance, you might not have been selected to play on the sports team since you simply did not play with enough concentration during tryouts. It's not hard to experience feelings of frustration or self-loathing when confronted with situations such as these. However, many can overcome their jealousy despite these failures by not giving up. While looking only at the situation as being a chance to improve yourself, you should use your jealousy like a motivational tool. Whatever the reason for your jealousy, it is vital that you do not obsess over what you think. In the end, life is simply too short to invest it wishing you had been different or moping over situations you cannot change. By looking at life in a more positive light, you'll be able to forget about your jealousy faster. Jealousy, as numerous men and women know, is an extremely hard emotion to manage, because it requires your stomach and twists it into knots before you scream for a release. The problem is that whenever we scream, it is almost always misinterpreted and frowned upon. People hate it when others are jealous. It makes them seem like losers who aren't changing their future but are simply complaining about it. It gets condemned, while those who are jealous actually just need empathy. When you are jealous, you experience a loss. You mourn over the fact that someone else seems to be doing better than you. Jealousy includes a mind of their own, which is sufficiently strong to create us belief and find out things that aren't even there or which have not happened yet. It is different from simply being suspicious. Jealousy can obscure our minds. Jealousy could make us worry and put the brain into a prison that people cannot escape. It locks the doorways and doesn't let us out until it really wants to. Jealousy will keep the brain from sleep since it recognizes that sleep causes us to be strong and will let us to battle it. It can have a bad effect on your health, and that makes it even harder. Jealousy knows no rational thinking. This makes it very difficult to get support from people around us, and harder to try and explain why we react once we do if we are plagued by this horrible emotion. Jealousy comes with a weakness, though, and that's love and trust, and ladies helping women to find methods to combat this nasty factor that grows within us. Jealousy is extremely connected, or might be even brought on by one's low self-esteem, but sometimes we just compare ourselves to others and we don't like how fast they've progressed. And instead of condemning this feeling, try to embrace it and accept that life doesn't have to be fair and that we don't have to be that other person. We can progress at our own speed. Because people often condemn jealousy, it can come with loneliness. We wish someone else understood our loss or our sorrow. We wish for things we don't have, and others may just tell us to be grateful for what you have. This is a difficulty and pulls us down into the loneliest place. Imagine getting anxiety and your mouth is glued shut, which means you are not able to voice your pains and fears. This can be a small illustration of the way a person feels when their jealousy takes over. When they discuss it, they seem accusing and confrontational. Others feel they're being attacked for something they didn't do. It is actually a no-win situation for anybody involved. But to help keep it stuck inside only gives birth to an ugly seed of pain, frustration, agony, and real loneliness. It eats at our strength, causing us to be weak in our judgment of what's real and what's not. And this way, we can feel stuck. Why, I ask you? How did we become this person we didn't want to become? We broke no rules to get punished for. Whenever we take a look at someone else, we only see what we want to be. It blinds us from who we are and just what we have to offer around the world. It captivates the brain and produces terrible results. People think that you can just say, disappear. We want it to be that simple. If jealousy gets defeated by having a mere thought, we'd maintain in a really perfect world. Do people really think we do it on purpose? Of course not. We'd rather be happy, but it's hard to be, and that's something to be solved. Jealousy comes with one fear. That's love. Love conquers all, and that's just as real because the frustration we're feeling inside if we are imprisoned through the fears of jealousy is just as real too. If you notice someone is jealous, you need to be there for him or her. Loneliness is the hardest thing when someone is jealous. Friends and family who empathize with the person can help against the negative ideas and jealousy controls. We have to tell ourselves that we're safe, we're loved, and we're needed. We have to concentrate on the good around us and employ our thought energy to adopt positive ideas instead of negative ones. Whenever we do defeat our negative mind, we ought to pat ourselves on the backs, since this has been a real struggle. Recognize your efforts as you have won, and the win is going to be greater next time. We simply need to continue to look for methods to boost our self-esteem as well. Together, we'll conquer this loneliness. Strength is in us, and we now have the opportunity to take control over our emotions. Chapter 5. Psychological issues. Aside from low self-esteem, another reason jealousy issues are extremely prominent can be feelings of depression and hopelessness. For instance, let us say you did not obtain the raise you desired at work, or if you're self-employed, someone else might be making more money with their business, accelerating faster than you. Comparing is the big key. Stop comparing yourself to others and compare yourself to how you used to be. Even if you didn't make much progress in your own eyes, look at what you have learned over the years. Get over yourself and make things happen, instead of constantly wishing you were someone else. Now, how to do that? Well, the main point is to not be so hard on yourself and to accept that you don't have to be the best at everything. It's a false concept that gets taught in some cultures. Sometimes, coping with jealousy issues can take a great deal of time. However, you'll feel far better for getting this done. In regard to the psychological explanations of where jealousy comes from, you will be amazed at simply how much there's to understand. Research has shown that an essential part of overcoming jealousy is through more self-examination. Some of us get more competitive than others, but if you look at life, it doesn't really matter. I'll tell you a story. As a teenager, I was a little fanatic about basketball. I played it every day and got better and better. I was the best in class, one of the best ones in our city team, and often did all the funny tricks on outside court when the weather was good enough. After some time, I signed up for a basketball camp. All the previous NBA stars and WNBA stars I looked up to suddenly appeared like insignificant nobodies to me. Why? Because some of the guys and girls at the camp were better than I was, but I had no respect for them. I lost my respect when they made arrogant comments, played dirty, or had the whole "look at me, I own the world" popularity attitude. I couldn't stand them. I certainly didn't look up to them. And at that moment, I realized I didn't care about someone's skills anymore. More about how nice of a person they were. My point is this: sometimes we look up to others, only to find out that we're happy to be who we are instead of trying to be someone else. I also realized our feelings of jealousy all come from something we call ego. Why do we have to be the prettiest, the richest, or the most skillful? Why can't we be happy for others and be content with ourselves? Who whispers in our ear that we're not good enough, that we can never be satisfied about life? I am telling you to tell that voice to shut up. It's not you. You are good enough. Though we should always strive to do better, this striving itself is what counts, not always the results. If you've been abused, bullied, or somehow have experienced the ugly nature of some human beings who call themselves that, it's hard to resist the urge to seek revenge, to stand out, or to show them they are wrong about you. But have you ever considered their opinion doesn't matter? Screw them. Who cares what other people think? You don't have to make everyone like you. The most successful people often have the most haters. You can be yourself and progress at your own pace. If you're a better person today than you were yesterday, you've made progress. If you're not, then start working on that. The heck with people who tell you they made $20,000 because they were smart enough to figure out the system. The heck with those who seem to laugh at you because you have bigger boobs, a younger face, or more successful kids. All these people have problems too, and even if they have less problems, that doesn't matter. You have to work on yourself. Careful whom you choose to be your role models. Some of these phonies have as many complicated circumstances as anyone, but are afraid to reveal it. I've read that some of the highest suicide rates in Japan and South Korea, 2 countries in which saving face is an important concept. Even though these countries are highly developed and comparatively rich, it seems like the big problem is that everyone is measuring up and trying to be perfect. The message, "you're never good enough," has certainly caused the occasional citizen of these countries to take their life. Stand up for what's right and counter the world's trend of constantly showing off. You don't have to be impressive to be a good person, or even an impressive person. I usually spot people fast who are sincere, honest, intelligent, or selfless, not the ones who just know a lot, earned a lot, or performed well. Some of the latter mentioned ones can have huge egos, messed up social lives, or malicious intentions. And even if they don't, what makes you think you have to be them? You don't. You have potential. Now make it happen. Chapter 6. Self-Esteem. Once you have given your confidence levels a boost, you will find that it's not hard to conquer low self-esteem and jealousy. In the end, simply because another person got that which you wanted does not imply that you will never get it either. Rather than letting jealousy bog you down, Use this as a chance to consider a brand new method to your objectives or just continue to work harder. I know of a millionaire, one in particular that I met, who is still obsessed with making fun of another millionaire who earns more. It's sad to see, but even with about $1 million in his bank account, the first guy can't seem to be happy because he is frustrated about the other guy's success. Do you think he's going to be happy when he reaches the other guy's income level? Of course not. Self-esteem lies at the core of jealousy, so to fix the issue, the core needs to be considered. It's hard to admit it, but we all struggle with it sometimes. I discussed several methods in previous chapters already. Group treatments are another effective way for coping with jealousy. These kinds of meetings provide you with the benefit of having a supportive audience to tell your troubles to. Additionally, you can discover more on how to feel free by helping others. It doesn't matter what method you select to get past your jealousy, you'll be able to unwind with the understanding that you're growing like a person and improving your life. Many of my friends have gone to group meetings for porn addictions, rage issues, or other relationship problems, and almost everyone comes back with a positive feeling after having gone to these meetings. Some tips to grow your self-esteem. Don't be a perfectionist. Compare yourself only to yourself. Get on a healthy diet. Create something, whether it's art, content, music, or something else. Be proud of past accomplishments and humble enough to keep learning. Live your purpose. Silence your inner critic. More suggestions and elaborate explanations of some of these are in the book titled Self-Esteem for Women. This has been Jealousy, Workbook of Creating Trust in Your Relationship, written by Kimberly Janvey, narrated by Belinda Smith. Copyright 2017 by Kimberly Janvey. Production copyright 2018 by Kimberly Janvey.